All right, guys, how's it going? This is Blake Hester here. Here with another video. I want to show you guys exactly how I tend to trade, and so you guys have a good idea of exactly what I do. And so yeah, just want to give you a good idea of it. As you can see, I don't use any indicators, things like that. Um, honestly, I used to use indicators, but then I don't know. With my mentor Monty, he really taught me, like if you think about it, indicators answer to price action, right? Indicators don't get their information and all that until price has been formed. So like if you can learn how to just read candlesticks and how to just see a price action, then then you really don't need indicators. If you think about it. So price, like everyone says, price action is king. If you ever hear what like the word price action, that's what that means. Price action is simply just the candles, how they form, how they move, things like that. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. If you don't know the basics of candles, I'll try to explain it as we go, as it comes up. But if you don't, I highly suggest looking into it, looking this up in like I don't know, like baby pips, things like that, or find a YouTube video of people explaining candlestick, what they mean. Maybe that's a video I can make in the future. But yeah, so if you don't know that, just go ahead and look that up, and that should help. All right. So let's go ahead and look here. And so basically, what I like to do is I like to see the higher time frame we are, right, and then based off where we are on the higher time frame, from there I try to decide, okay, what can we expect on the higher time frame, right? But let's keep it simple though, because I go from higher time frame, I break it down from like the daily, I go down to the 4 hour, and I go into the 1 hour, the 30-minute, the 15-minute, 5-minute, things like that, and it gives off more information. But I'm gonna show you the setup that I normally look for. Okay, so here's what I look for. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. So if you look here on the 5-minute chart, GBP USD, I took this trade today. I actually end up closing, sadly, end up closing it right here. I was on like a smaller account, so I didn't really have much to really hold, and so I just closed it all there, just because it's Friday and all that. But this was the original idea, something like this. But it's good to see it's going to work out. But on the 5-minute, here's what happens. What I do. A lot of times you see here, prices on this bearish trend, right? It's on the selling trend. It's basically what's going on. And so around here in New York time, it's happening a little later. But normally what I look for is price where the moments where price is going to reverse and go the opposite way, basically. Okay. And so there's a few signs, there's a few ways that I can see that in a few signs, right? So if you look in the daily time frame where I traded from, if you look right here, there's also an area right here where price came to and stopped and reversed at on the daily time frame, right? So this is what we call, this red line right here is we would call a daily support. I say support. And so that's basically what I did there. And so if we go back down here to like the 5-minute chart, right? So keeping that in mind where we're in the daily. So look here, we're right at this daily support zone. There's a few things, right? The one thing you can notice right here, yes, price closed down here, but look what happened. This 30-minute candle came and closed back up in this daily range, right? And so that's a sign that price could reverse potentially, because you're at a zone where prices came to before and turned around at. See, it's in the daily time frame. Remember we saw the daily. So this is in the 30-minute where it reversed, right? So we're at the same exact area. So since we're here in that same area, we see this 30-minute candle close like this, back above this day's support. So basically right here, what I look for is on the 5-minute. Here's what I look for, right? Because if you don't know this, price will always moves like this, right? So in a downtrend, price is moving like this. Price will never, like, rarely does this, right? Now if you look at this, it looks like it's doing this, right? But if you look at the 5-minute time frame, it's constantly doing this: up, down, up, down, up, down. You see what I mean? Up, down, up, down, down, down. So it's gonna be up and down, right? And so basically what I look for is price to show signs that it's going to reverse and go the opposite way. So right here, we're doing nothing but sells all day, basically, right? And so if on days like this in New York session, when something like this has just been straight bearish and it's been nothing but sells, I always look for that reverse. So You can see right here, let's look deep right here. So you see on the 30-minute, basically right here, we have an area where it had some kind of a resistance. We call it resistance, right? Where this candle came and it pushed back down. So this is what we call a resistance, right? And again, if you don't know what that is, then please look it up for yourself and do your research. And so right in the 5-minute, it looks like this, right? So on the 5-minute, I see this. So basically what I do is I say, okay, this is basically the resistance area. About right here, in this area. That's basically the resistance area, right? And so basically what happens is I look on the 5-minute time frame for price to show sign of reversing in this area where there's a 30-minute resistance, and I need a 5-minute candle to close above this resistance. Well, because for me, sorry about that, is because this telling me that this 30-minute resistance is being breached. Therefore, there is a good chance that price is leaving this zone, leaving this area, and going up, going to go up to another zone. And so what I do is I wait for that 5-minute candle close. This candle right here is money. This is it. So you can see right here where I took the trade. The candle closed, and then I waited to see what this candle is going to do. Because sometimes you might get it come back down into this area, and then it'll push up. Sometimes something like that. So what I do is I let this candle close, and as soon as I see the next 5-minute candle start breaking above this candle or breaks above it, I buy it. And normally you can put your stops like right below this candle. Normally, but every now and then though, price could do one more pullback before breaking through. So it could fake out, do a little pullback, then go. So for that reason, I put my stops here. Which the reason why I put my stop loss there is if you look in the 30-minute, we're putting it up below this 30-minute candle, basically. So you see that? So sometimes you want to place your stop loss based on like 30-minute or 1 hour, whatever you're doing, just to be safe. But if you look here, it like a lot of times this works out for me at least. If you put your stops right below that candle, like right here, so price may not come back there. So if you see, look what happened. Get a clean entry and it never came back. And so, of course, we know about the markets. You have to be very careful with the markets. You can't just assume, okay, yeah, pricing might take profit. So like, for example, today, I took profit here when price started breaking below this support area, mainly because it's Friday and it would be nice to have some extra profit for the week. So like, why not just close on it, right? And so if you have like a lot of capital, you can close half here if you want, or if you're feeling very confident and you're able to watch the charts, then just sit here and see what happens in this area. Or you can put your stop loss at break even and say, you know, if it stops me out, it stops me out. But if it doesn't and it keeps going, happy days. It's whatever you want to do. And so that's the reason why I did that. So as you can see here, I'm looking for take profit to hit this area. This white line is based off of a 4-hour support area, like in here. Probably a little bit tighter like this. But honestly, based on the area these wicks are, sometimes you may just want to take profit in this area. You might want to. And so if you want to take profit in here, especially because the day's ending, it's a Friday, close it out right there. Whoopee, man. You're sitting pretty. But think about it. If you have Magic Keys, which I highly recommend Magic Keys because it is amazing. On Magic Keys, let's say you took my stop loss, which was 23 pips. Or if you put your stop below the 5-minute candle, that's like 15 pips. Think about it, you risk that's your risk reward. Let's say you risk 1% and you go for this, which honestly ended up going, let's say you close at the end of the day, so right here, like 79 pips. Think about that. What's the math on that? 15, 34, 5, 60, 75. So that's like that's a little more than a 1 to 5 risk reward ratio, right? I can't move it, but yeah. So you risk 1% and you make 5% in this trade if you decide to close it in this area, which is amazing. Now for me, I ended up closing it. Like I said, I ended up closing it pretty early days because it was Friday and I had to go and I didn't want to hold that trade. So for me, today was, let me put it where I closed it. Even where I closed it at, I think it was gonna be like a 1 to 1. 1 to 1.2. Yeah, 1 1.2, which I mean still isn't bad, but if I did hold it, it'd been great. It'd been fantastic, right? But I had to leave and I do stuff, so like it is what it is, right? But you get the idea. That's pretty much how I trade. I look for these reversals, and if you do, you're pretty much catching the bottom or the top of a reversal, whether you're doing buys or sells. So that's why I love it. Like today on gold, same thing happened today on gold. I didn't catch this trade today, sadly, but I came to the charts today and I realized, oh look, price is doing nothing but pushing down the whole time. There's been no big retracements or anything like that. And so what I do on the 5 minutes, or I look on like 15-30 minute, I see where there's a resistance right here. Like, okay, cool. And I go to the 5 minute chart and I see right here, there's resistance. Sorry, my dog's in the background. And I see right here, oh, this is resistance. Wait for the candle to close right here. That's your money right there. Now, sadly, this candle, I remember not taking it because it was pretty big. It's a 50 pip candle. But so sometimes with gold, you kind of have to just take your shot and hope it sticks, because sometimes it happens. But sometimes though, this is gold. Sometimes it is what it is. And so right here, you just have to go for it. So right here, you can do this. And then you can aim for, like I would have aimed for this daily right here, which would have been actually perfect. Whoops. Would have been spot on right here. As you can see, the day ended up. So this is a 1 to 2.8, which is awesome. So yeah, you'd have to hold a heavier stop loss, but the strategy still works, right? You wait for a 5 minute candle to close above this 30-minute resistance, and you just buy it, and then you just watch. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. Do it again. This is the strategy I do. But yeah, guys, I hope this is helpful. This kind of explains what I do. I hope that makes sense and all that. As you can hear, my dogs are going crazy. Got people over, so I need to go. But guys, I hope it's helpful. If it is, let me know. Let me know what you guys like to see, all right? I want to start posting some more super transparent videos. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to show, nothing to sell, anything like that. So yeah, guys, hope it's helpful. Guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later, all right? Have a good one.